And it's easy for us. We go, well, yeah, back then, they weren't like us modern folks. They had these idols and things like that. My friends, it is no less offensive to God today when a secular scientist unlocks some of the mysteries of God's own creation and then, having done so, stands back and says, just happened that way. It's just an accident. When I think of the biologists who look at the complexity of life that we understand now and say, well, it just happened by accident. Is there really any less foolishness involved there than there was with the man who built an idol out of the wood and then bowed down to worship? I say no. It's the same kind of idolatry. So I want to look at a specific text in Isaiah chapter 41. And I remind you, the context here goes back and forth between God saying to Israel, I'm going to do this to reveal myself to you. I'm going to do this to reveal myself to you. And then he turns to the false idols. He turns to the gods of the peoples, and he challenges them. He brings them into the court of law. And there is a reason why he's doing this, and I point you to Isaiah chapter 41, verse 20. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 20. Despite the fact that I have obtained a wonderfully large print Hebrew text, and I have my Johnny Cash giant print LSB, I still need my Jim Kirks, unfortunately. Wow, look at all that stuff there. That's great. It's amazing what you miss when you don't put these things on. Verse 20 of chapter 41. Why is God doing all these things? It's a section where he has talked about how he's going to provide for Israel, and he's going to give them all these, provide their needs and things like that. And then he says, this is so that they may see, and they may know, and they may literally settle upon. And so it means to contemplate, to think upon, and to gain insight into what? That the hand of Yahweh has done this. The Holy One of Israel, and it's literally, has created this. He wants his people to know who it is that has made provision for the people of Israel. And he wants them to know that he is actively involved in this world. It is the hand of Yahweh that has done this. It is the Holy One of Israel that has created this. It's the very same term that's used in Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So he wants his people to know. He does not want us looking at all the things he does for us and attributing that to natural causes or happenstance or anything like that. He wants us to know that his providence, that working out of sovereignty in time, is purposeful on his part. He wants us to know him, and we are to see, and we are to know, and we are to contemplate, meditate upon, gain insight about. This is something that we are to do when we look at God's works. This is what he wants. And so it is in that context that the discussion then turns in verse 21 to a challenge to the gods in the law court. So what does Yahweh say? He says, "Bring forth your case," says Yahweh. "Make known or introduce your strong or your mighty argument," says the King of Jacob. What is his challenge to them as they've now been brought into court? He says, make known to us, declare to us the things that are going to take place. What's coming? Make known to us the things that are going to take place. And as for the former things, declare to us what they were. that we may settle our hearts, that we may focus upon, we may meditate in our hearts, and that we may know their outcome and declare to us the things that are going to come after